Hey, welcome to New Jump City, everybody, where we recap the week in American and Japanese sequential art. I am your host, Christian, the unbiased king. Espinal, that was a little louder than I expected. I apologize. Also joining me through Discord, it is the man, the myth, the legend. It is Joshua. Gangsta Time Code.
It's called Partner, but it should be called Gangsta Time.
You're muted. Man,
we gotta start tallying these. Anyway,
yeah.
Good, Chris. What's good, everybody listening? It's your boy. And what's up, Brian? Was about to be introduced.
Oh yeah, this is Edge. We are accompanied by the disembodied voice of my little brother. It is Edgelord. Big news, Brian.
What's up, nerds?
Hey. Oh yeah, we're back. Jump is back. We got the whole family here basically, except for the monkeys. But very excited to get into it. Lots of stuff to talk about. But before we do that, let's get into some plugs. You can find me at the Chris Espinal on Twitter and Instagram. Joshua Cole, where can they find you?
At JD_Cole_37. That's on Instagram. And at New Jump City Josh. That's on Twitter.
Oh yeah, Brian.
You can find me at b.esp on both Instagram and Twitter. And if you ever want to catch me when I'm streaming, you can find me at twitch.tv/itspunchline.
Oh yeah. You can follow the show itself at New Jump City on Twitter and Instagram. Sometimes we post on there sometimes. Whenever the show is posted, usually is when we post on there. So check us out on that. We're also on TikTok. I'm trying to get better about posting little video clips onto there. So follow us at New Jump City on TikTok as well. You can email the show itself at newjumpcitypod@gmail.com with any questions, suggestions, anything you guys want us to talk about. Next week, there will be no jumps, so we are planning on doing a little bit of a Q&A session. We're very behind on Mike's questions, but if any of you guys also, other listeners that are out there want to send us some questions, you can email the show, or you can comment under the video version of the podcast, under whichever version, whichever series you follow us covering, or the full version of the podcast as well. Comments in general are very appreciated and encouraged. While you're at it, give us a like, give us a subscribe to the podcast on YouTube. We are trying to recover from our 1 week break in which the YouTube, I feel like, is not like showing our videos. I feel like if you take a break on YouTube for any amount of time, they hate you. So give us some engagement on that and help us get back into the good graces of the algorithm. If you prefer audio podcasts, we are obviously on everywhere you can listen to, whether it's iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcast, Pandora, Amazon Music. The list goes on and on and on. Check us out on that. We have every single episode of the show on there. I believe YouTube has from 75 and up. So, if you want to backlog all the way back to like kind of the beginning of Wano or the middle of Wano in One Piece, for example, and track our thoughts through that, you can. So check us out.
That was a ride.
Oh yeah. And also the audio version of the podcast tends to go up first, as it is the easiest for me to edit right off the bat. So check us out on that. And I believe that's it. I think that's it for us. Spoiler alerts ahead. Let us get the show started. One Piece. This is One Piece chapter 1071. The hero deploys. Lots to talk about in this chapter, honestly. Big stuff happens. First things first, last we left off in One Piece, the CP0 attack is in full effect. They've managed to take down Sentomaru and gain full control of the Seraphim children, and are now really just kind of figuring out how to proceed onward, because they still have to contend with all the Straw Hats, and Lucci is just sitting there acting like he didn't get his ass beat for a little while by a literal cartoon man. So
For a little while.
So he's thinking like, how do we approach this shit?
Definitely not fighting him one-on-one.
No. uh, Meanwhile, this chapter actually starts off in interesting fashion. We have Kuma, Bartholomew Kuma, just blasting through the air, and we had theorized that Kuma was heading straight for Egghead to defend Vegapunk. We were fucking wrong. He is actually heading straight for the red line. Yeah, double L's for us. We are not good theorists. um,
Not at all.
no. Or Oda's just too smart for all of us. Have we ever considered that? Does it feel unfair to theorize against Oda? That's how I feel. So yeah, Kuma just blasts headfirst into the fucking red line, and lands directly into Redport, which is an island directly underneath, directly at the base of the red line.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, and everybody's just freaking out because they see Kuma there, and he's just like, "What the fuck is he doing here?" And they're just like, "He recently escaped from the land of the gods. What does this mean?" And Kuma just gets up and he starts looking upward, which is an interesting thing. I believe that like Marijua is directly above this town. That's what I'm thinking, because these elevators. Oh wait, I thought there was elevators there, but yeah, there. I believe that maybe Marijua is directly above, and maybe he's just like going back up there. You know,
Right back that he literally just left.
I mean, they stole him technically, and he is like, he has no sentience or autonomy when it comes to the celestial dragon. So it could be that he's just programmed to return to them if he ever gets lost or stolen or whatever the hell. Which is pretty tragic. Not for nothing.
Nah, that's not a good look, because he was literally, Kuma was with all of the revolutionaries while they was talking a whole bunch of shit. He could have been recording everything.
Oh yeah, and he knows where they are.
Uh-huh.
If Dragon's smart, he's like, I gotta get the fuck out of here right now.
Let's go. No.
Yeah, let's get on the boat and go somewhere else, one of our other weird islands.
Let's make like a banana and split.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. I'll relax.
No, I like it.
No, that was
no, it was good.
That was egregious.
Yeah.
Well, anyway.
Back at Egghead, Lucci and the rest are again just like, man, we have control of the Seraphins, but feels like kind of a lateral move at this point. How are we gonna get him out of here? So they're kind of worried about how to get past like Vegapunk's trap, because as Kaku tried before, if you go beyond a certain level, you get shocked immediately and blasted by lightning. So they're just like, they don't know how to maneuver around Vegapunk's various traps around his island. Meanwhile, inside of the Laboface itself, the Vegapunks are getting ready to leave, basically. What's his face? Shaka's basically like, it's our job to just stay here and die for the Stella. I mean, we're just satellites. You know, it's important that the real Vegapunk gets out of here. But Vegapunk is actually not really having any of it. He's like, hey, may I Rayquaza a spot on your ship for 7? So he intends to bring all of his satellites with him, which is pretty cool. There's a scene where Vegapunk seems to call somebody on the phone and is like, hey, we need your help. The ops are here. We need your help getting off this island. And a mysterious figure on the other side of the phone is like, of course, I've been waiting for your order. I wonder who the fuck that is. Very excited to find out. Vegapunk has connects. It could be anybody, really. I feel like he has his hands in pretty much every kind of group in this world.
Yeah. I don't know who. I couldn't even begin to imagine.
It could be Jaguar D Sol. It could be one of the revolutionaries. It could be various other people. Who knows? Meanwhile, we cut back to oh yeah, they see that that the frontier defense system of the dome is deactivated. And they don't know how or why. They're just like, is someone in the control room? So all of a sudden, their defenses are down, and CP0 is able to skywalk all the way to the top of the labo phase unharmed. Lucci peeps like a little further into the island on top of the labo phase to see the Thousand Sunny there. And Lucci is like, destroy their ship now so they can't get away. And Kaku's like, in a jiffy, he does his cool storm leg slicer thing where he kicks a slice, and doesn't go too well because guess who's on the motherfucking ship? It's Roronoa Zoro.
Yeah, excitement levels went through the fucking roof.
Oh yeah, I
What
mean,
can I say?
what are you gonna do? It's Zoro. We all got pumped immediately. He woke up
He
from
said,
his.
"I will solo your group."
Yeah, he's like, oh, you guys were a problem 2 years ago, but I'm basically a god here.
I fought an angel.
My favorite part is that Kaku seems to have trauma flashbacks and seeing Roronoa. He's like, Roronoa?
Called him by his first name.
Oh, yeah. His family name. Zoro's technically his first name.
Oh.
Roronoa?
I forget how the Japanese work sometimes.
Yeah. So it turns out that Shaka and what's this guy's name? Pythagoras get to the control room, and they fix the defenses, but it's too late. The CP0 is already here. So they peep that Zoro's in the middle of fighting Kaku right now, which is pretty sick. Luffy has a moment to reunite with the crew, and they're basically like discussing what's been going on. Luffy is pissed off that they're leaving right now because he just wanted to stay here and relax on the cool future island. But they're just like, hey, has anybody seen Bonnie? And we see that Bonnie is currently chasing Vegapunk around the island, trying to kill him.
For reals this time.
Yeah, for reals. He's crossed her one too many times. And we take a break from all the action on Egghead to a stretch of sea in the New World, where we see the kid pirates are arriving on a certain island, and they're talking about how everything in this area is pretty big, and everybody's like, why is that? Why is the fish so big here? And Killer's like, kid, we reached land. Shall we disembark? And Kid's like, shall we? Of course. Of course. And he's like, why wouldn't we? And Killer reveals that it seems that they have fucking landed on the island of Elbaf, home of the fucking Giants, and not the New York ones. Just the regular old.
Who are in the playoffs, by the way.
Congratulations, Damien.
Minnesota. I got this.
A fairly winnable game. I don't know.
A fairly winnable game.
Fairly.
Quote that. No.
Fairly.
I'm rooting for you guys. You know that.
You guys should be able to take the Buccaneers. No problem. I mean, yeah, I watched the game. Yeah, I watched that whole game.
I didn't watch it. Man.
I'll tell you what, Dak Prescott either plays the best football I've ever seen or literally the worst. I'll tell you that much. Then there's no in between, Joshua. He's never just okay. Oh, that's a story for another day. We'll see how sad you are next week.
He was okay his rookie season.
I think he's great. I just think he just like in moments of pressure he freezes or something. I don't know.
You know, we'll get into this another time.
Yeah, this isn't a sports show.
But
anyway, Land of the Giants. They fucking made it to Land of the Giants before anybody. Who would have thunk?
And who else is salty?
Fucking me, because we were like, Elbaf is very much next.
Elbaf, destroy.
What if they just never go? What if they never fucking go? And they just go to Elbaf instead? It's not cool. Anyway.
That wouldn't be very tasteful.
It would not. But in any case, Kid arrives at at Elbaf, and then we cut to the Navy HQ base G4, and we see this Navy woman named Doll who's yelling at Garp.
14.
What did I say?
14.
What did I say?
4.
Did I say 4? I'm sorry. Navy HQ base G14.
This is a quality podcast.
No, I agree. Hey,
no,
I appreciate you for holding me accountable for my slip-ups. So she's yelling at Garp about, like, what the hell are you doing going to an Emperor's Island to pick a fight with him? And Garp is like, it'll be fine. We'll figure it out when we get there. And he calls for Helmeppo to come out. Helmeppo comes out and is like, they got Kobe. There's nothing we can do. They're going to take my friend. And Garp is like, quit whining, boy. Get on the ship. He says, we're going to sail for the pirate island full of lead, and we're going to wipe the floor with those pirates, and we're going to save Captain Kobe. A lot of didn't see that coming moments in this chapter, but that is where the chapter ends. And Josh, what did you think about One Piece chapter 1071?
I'm going to start off with a prediction.
Mm-hmm.
Garp will die.
Yeah.
For sure.
You're sure about that?
No doubt about it.
No doubt? Not even a little bit of a doubt?
You willing to
What's
throw
his
some
ability
stakes on that?
to grow big? What's his devil fruit power?
He doesn't have one.
He just has swag, right?
And hockey.
And hockey, right? Well, you know what I mean. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, this distinction.
He can punch cannonballs.
Yeah.
He is a cannon. He punches cannonballs as a cannon himself. That's how he launches cannons. He punches them directly to wherever he needs to go.
So, all right, he doesn't have an ability to get absorbed. Thank goodness.
This is true.
But we need more emotional loss for Luffy.
Yeah. Who knows?
Well, I wouldn't say we need it, but I could see it happening.
Mm.
Anyway, aside from just raw predictions or whatever, we're gonna all talk about Elbaf collectively. I'm just gonna say this: the big fish wasn't enough for me at first, because I was in utter disbelief that like these niggas would pull up to Elbaf. Not the show. Like they would show us this, before. Come on, this is weird, man. Anyway, we'll get back to that later. It really sucks that the chapter is going to be off next week because there's a lot of good setup in these chapters. We have Vegapunk talk about like why his like he's gonna tell Bonnie about like why his father can't be changed back and why it's a good thing. That was interesting to me. I mean, I figured that was kind of like a means to an end, but I didn't think that was, potentially like a strategic plus. So that's what I hope he's about to say. I don't want Kuma to go back and be a slave. You feel me? I want him to go back to Marijois and blow shit up. I want to go and shoot mad lasers at the celestial dragons, and you know what I mean. And then maybe self-destruct and blow up their castle, and have Emu sitting there like, damn, that's a wild dude.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Emu sits there like, maybe slavery is wrong.
Perhaps there is repercussions to actions.
Consequences.
Because perhaps I can't move people around the world like chess pieces.
And that's the end of One Piece right there. Kuma fucks up his house and he's like, damn, my bad.
I would be like 70% satisfied with that ending.
I'm okay with that.
Better than 50%.
Yeah.
It's like a C-.
That's a solid C-, I think.
A-, D+.
I'm no teacher. I think that's a C-.
Like a C-, yeah.
Or a C, right? 70% is a lot.
Well, anyway.
Those are your thoughts?
Pretty much. I want to hear what you guys had to say.
Brian, what did you think about this chapter?
I think Garp heading out to go fight Blackbeard on enemy territory is actually something really fucking risky. But because it's Garp, it kind of outweighs the risk, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Because Garp's about it. Like, and he's also a really hard counter to Blackbeard in a sense.
Is it because he's rough and rowdy?
No, it's because he doesn't have a devil fruit. Blackbeard's power works stronger against people with devil fruits.
Yeah.
Oh, true. It suppresses them. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, the Yami Yami
That's a
no
good
Mi.
point.
And plus, Garp is also a very physical fighter, and Blackbeard has he doesn't have a high pain tolerance either.
Yeah. Yeah. This is the guy who took down the Rocks Pirates with his bare fucking hands. You know?
Back in the day?
Back in the day.
Shit.
This could be setting up a storyline for Kobe and his kind of claim to fame as well. So, I don't know. I'm looking forward to see what comes up from this.
Oh, yeah. Were those all your thoughts, Brian?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so much repercussions to come from this, you know, like all around, you know, Oda's just been teasing, and this is like the benefit and also kind of like a bummer of having such a big and interesting world where we can't spend our time with all of these things. Like, you know, the series would never end if we took breaks in between arcs to really like go and follow all these different storylines, and Oda's offering them to us in pieces. And they're all so fucking cool. I think Garp going off to the island is such a like characteristic that the monkey family has, is that they're just like, we'll fucking go and we'll fuck shit up. You know, just the brazenness.
They all just make it happen.
Yeah, he even looks kind of like a time skip Luffy in this moment where he's just like, get on the ship and let's go fuck things up. So we all know where Luffy gets it from, I guess. I love there's this chaotic nature with Garp being such a highly regarded Marine, but also like he conducts himself kind of like a pirate in that degree where he just kind of does what he wants and goes where he wants. So
the will of D.
Yeah, it's one of those things where Sengoku and him are just kind of like, they're both heroes of the Navy in the same regard, but they couldn't be more different from each other, where Sengoku is more like regal and I guess like fits the mold more, and Garp, I feel like they can't really do nothing to him because he signifies such an important thing for the Marines in general. But I know that the military doesn't really care for him. Like the higher ups and the five elders, they're just like, if they could get rid of him, they would, just because he's such a chaotic individual. It doesn't play by their rules. I'm excited to see how that turns up, and it would be cool if we got to see Garp fight, just to see what he's like.
If that's the case, they would be trying to get rid of Smoker.
Well, Smoker's
He's
not
gonna punch Teach right in the fucking face. But what about Smoker?
He's chaotic and doesn't play by the rules.
Yeah,
Yes,
but like
he
he's also Smoker. You know, like what is Smoker gonna do?
He follows orders.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
Yeah, Smoker's like kind of a loose cannon in a way, but he's not.
He's a 90%er.
Yeah. He's like, what do you got to be worried about? We've seen what Smoker could do. He got beat by Virgo. A vice admiral could take down Smoker. It's less that like he's a threat, more as Garp being who he is and how strong he is purportedly. That's
like,
a bigger
who's going to check him?
Right. I'm excited to see what comes of that. Kid getting to Elbaf first is a surprise, mostly because I'm thinking back to that moment in Wano where like they gave him different information, and I'm wondering if that was intentional on Law's part. That Law sent him to Elbaf on purpose as part of a even grander scheme that he's had. But I don't know. Law could be playing them from the very start still, because he
could also be dead.
He could also be dead. Blackbeard Blackbeard is something you probably didn't calculate, but
No.
in terms of what he can control, which is like the information he gave to Luffy and Kid, I think it wouldn't behoove him to just like, because he also wants the One Piece. He wants to be king. So
Yeah.
to send them on for various reasons, whether it's to get them out of the way or whatever. I'm interested. I'm interested to see how the information he gave to Kid, seemingly purposefully, factors into his own plans if he's still alive, as Brian says. Kaku versus Zoro is cool. I'm excited. It is good to see that Kaku's like, shit, this guy beat my ass last time. Maybe we'll
I
get.
want to see his awakened giraffe form.
Oh my god, that's what I was just about to say. Imagine he awakened his giraffe form and he's like, see, giraffes are cool. I'm here for it.
And it's just a longer neck.
Yeah, it's just a longer neck. But yeah, there's a lot going on in this chapter. Honestly, my RGC, to be completely frank, I don't know if it's RGC for any of you guys, but it is mine. No? All right. Well,
it's my RGC. Too,
hey, there you go. Here we go. Then it's RGC, regular.
Certified RGC. Certified RGC. Certified RGC.
Garp carried the chapter.
No, there's a lot of cool shit that happened here, man.
Nah, Garp carried.
There's a lot of cool shit.
Brian, you're bugging.
He requires our help.
He did requires our help. But yeah, I don't got any more thoughts. Fantastic chapter overall. Do you guys have any rebuttals? Anything else you want to talk about before we move on?
No.
Josh?
Negative.
Alrighty then. Let us move onward. My Hero Academia. This is My Hero Academia, chapter 377, The Chain Thus Far. We open up with a narration from who knows, talking about how,
Who knows?
I don't know who's talking about this right now, but basically recapping what happened. For the most part, is that the heroes plan to split off the villain ranks in order to achieve victory, but something went wrong and they can't do it anymore. We then cut to said things going wrong as we cut to behind Aizawa and Manuel and Monoma as the Kurogiro portal opens up behind them, and we see President Mike bursting through, as well as a bunch of Twice clones that Toga made, and they all just basically tear this formation apart and force Aizawa and Monoma to break their line of sight from Shigaraki, causing him to burst and I guess assume what is his final-ish form. It's not his final form completely, but it's close. Allow Shigaraki to regain his quirks and all that stuff. So not looking good for everybody. Midoriya is just sitting there like, what the fuck's happening here? He's like, what's he tearing away? Is he shedding his skin? He's not moving. And we see that the Shigaraki persona starts talking about how, like, what if you told me that it's me here now? What would you want to do? Sit for a chat at the mall? Ain't happening, hero. I'm your villain after all. Meanwhile, Skeptic is going crazy. He's just like, I have successfully hacked UA's systems. They never had a chance. I hacked it to their mainframe.
Easy mode.
Yeah, he's talking his shit, doing his Skeptic thing. And Midoriya is having trouble breathing because one of the pitfalls of the gear shift quirk is that if he doesn't have a second to rest, if his cells don't have a second to rest, his body can't get enough oxygen. So he's just trying to recover from all of the gear shift quirk that he's been using. It's all is looking not great until back at Skeptic's headquarters, a screen just zits back, and we see a silhouette, a familiar one, and she's like, "Found ya. Took you a while, but it finally showed yourself. Hunting you down was no walk in the park." And we see that Skeptic has been counterhacked by La Brava, and we get a full page spread of being like, "But nothing's too tough for me because this is all for Gentle's sake." And that's where the chapter ends. This was an incredibly short chapter at 12 pages. But yeah, Josh, what did you think about My Hero Academia chapter 377?
The pictures in the chapter were really nice. Nah. Man, Skeptic went to being really cool to me initially to being super fucking annoying.
Yeah. He was your favorite guy from the new gen-ish villains, right?
Yeah, he was, and then anyway, that was a metaphor, by the way. See how I had nothing?
Mm-hmm.
Nothing happened, and she was just annoying after the fact. Anyway, this chapter was made, I guess, similar to One Piece. Like it gives me the vibe like they knew exactly that they had the week off. Whether they did this whether they did this a week ago or whether they did this like a month ago, like in advance or something like that. Like it seems like they knew they was going into an off week, and said let's just set up for next week.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't really excited to see Bravo, but I don't know. How do you guys feel? How you feel, Brian? How do you feel about this chapter?
I actually didn't mind this chapter. It was actually a lot better than most of the chapters that he's released so far. It had like good pacing. It had like a good kind of structure to it. It spread out the story in a bunch of different places and kind of kept it focused on Deku and Shigaraki as well. It was actually a pretty decent chapter. The art was great. The writing was great. I really enjoyed what it's setting up. And I think it's fucking awesome that La Brava shows up at the end too. Hopefully we get to see Gentle. I really fucking want to see Gentle.
Hopefully, man.
But I don't think it's gonna happen the way that we want it to. I feel like La Brava showing up first kind of probably took a little bit of the wind out of the Gentle sails, in my opinion. I feel like if he like literally sprung into action, it would have been awesome, like an awesome reveal. Like if they had like a co-reveal, maybe if La Brava and Gentle showed up at the same time, just in like different places, that would have been awesome.
What was his quirk again?
It's like the bouncy thing. He could like turn his environment into a bouncy material,
even air.
And air.
You got to go back and read that fight. It's obvious.
It was really cool. I remember it being one of my favorite fights.
It's probably my favorite fight in the whole story.
Midoriya first learned how to use those air knuckles. That shit was crazy.
I think it would have been cool for him to like if he showed up in the battle and La Brava also like hacked into the system at the same time and they had like a split reveal at the end. That would have been top tier. This would have been my RGC if that happened. But still, it's still a really good chapter regardless. It's a classic swinging moment in the war, classic My Hero War arc swing where it looks like everything's going to shit and then all of a sudden, oh shit, look, there's a spark of hope. I just wonder if Deku actually stands a chance against Shigaraki with all of his quirks.
Yeah, because he's got a lot more than One for All.
He is Shigaraki without his quirk, with all of his quirks, is on another fucking level. Like it took Deku this much to hurt him without his quirks. Imagine him with them. It's a different fucking story.
Yeah.
And he's gonna need somebody explosive to come help out.
I was just about to ask.
An explosion
Bakugo
boy.
Huh?
Is Bakugo dead?
No.
I think they're still repairing his heart. Deadshot is still repairing his heart.
No, Edshot is becoming his heart.
Yeah, that too.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was this close. If Gentle showed up as well at the end, this would have been RGC for sure.
Yeah, had he added like 3 more pages.
Yeah.
Literally, if he had 3 more pages, this is RGC. That's actually crazy.
I have some more comments.
Yeah, go for it.
As far as how things appear, I really did mean this. This was an incredibly gorgeous looking chapter. I mean, Shigaraki like breaking out of that cocoon, like that panel was insane.
Mhm.
That was on page 1211, and then seeing the whole fucking stadium explode. I was reading it like,
Damn.
yep, it's over. Now it's miracle time. Now it's miracle shit comes out of nowhere to save the daytime because they're fucked. When they broke their formation up, as soon as the quirk stopped, he just as soon as he closed his eyes for a second and stopped looking at him,
Yeah.
shit hit the fan in the worst way. That was a palpable effect on me. So kudos. This was better than decent. Dare I say a good chapter.
Pretty
Not
bold.
my really good one.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I agree with you guys. I really enjoyed it. It's a bummer it is so short. But you know, this is one of the better ones. What struck me is that like this is obviously one of those moments that like Horikoshi really wanted for this war. You know, you could tell that there's certain plot points that are like, yeah, this is where he wanted this to happen. You know, this is like a moment that he's really wanted to execute. And I feel like the return of La Brava and Gentle Criminal, which I'm sure he's not that far behind, is something that I feel like he really set up at the end of the fight between Deku and Gentle Criminal. And I've just been waiting on when that was going to happen because I don't want to say it's my favorite arc, but it's definitely like probably my favorite fight in the series. I haven't seen the anime version of it, but in the manga, it's so good. I really like Gentle Criminal, and I think like he's supposed to really triumph in this moment. I hope he actually gets a good moment because there's a lot of characters who get like pretty fucked up in this, and they don't really have like a good triumphant moment. Which I guess it's realistic because it's a big war, and you're literally fighting a god. The dude with like so many powers, of course you would probably fall to him pretty easy, but you know, like I hope Gentle Criminal, out of everybody, he's kind of like my last hope into having like an underdog-ish character actually have a real and lasting effect on Shigaraki. I don't think it'll happen, but I hope because I really like Gentle Criminal. I thought this was a good chapter too, up to that moment, and then La Brava came and I was like, this could have been a great chapter. Honestly, I agree with you guys. If Gentle Criminal had shown up in a really cool way, this probably also would have been my RGC, which says something considering how good of a chapter One Piece had and how like up my alley for a One Piece chapter this was.
We just don't care for La Brava that much.
I like
if
La
you're
Brava.
a fan of, if you're a super fan of hers, then I'm sorry.
Hey, I was happy to see La Brava. Honestly, La Brava did like really enhance the chapter. I do like La Brava, and La Brava is a signifier that Gentle Criminal is gonna be here. So, you know, I'll take it.
Here's the thing. I thought about it, but also them showing the police chief in the background there. Well, not the police chief, but
Detective Sukauchi.
Yeah, so them showing him in the background implies that maybe Gentle got arrested.
He did get arrested.
He did get arrested
a long time ago at the end of that arc.
Okay, so essentially they probably put up like a deal that if she helped them, they'll release him from jail.
Yeah.
So he's probably still in prison, sadly.
That would be so dumb. Just let him out. He's got a fucking
Right,
strong ass.
make the stadium bendy.
Yeah.
Sugar Rocket won't like that.
But
Dude,
Shut up with
this
turf, man.
opens up another possibility
What?
because the detective was with All Might, and All Might could get attacked, which would open up an opportunity for Gentle Criminal to save him because he's their only option.
Yeah.
So, like, because there's no heroes near them, who are they going to turn to? Who are they going to turn to save All Might than the man, the boy,
the man,
to
the boy.
give him a chance to become a hero that he always wanted to be?
Yeah, I don't care how it happens. I just want Gentle to have a moment.
Brian's peering into the future.
Yeah.
I think that's what's going to happen. It's going to be Gentle Criminal shows up, saves the day. Stain is going to show up. Something is going to... One of the two have to do something. Stain's... We completely forgot about this motherfucker. Where is Stain?
He's out there being the Punisher.
Yeah, and he gave his advice to All Might already.
Yeah.
Yeah, but isn't he like stalking All Might too? Like just keeping him safe?
Like, be better, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
What if it's like a Stain and Gentle Criminal combo to protect All Might?
That'd be a weird combo, but I wouldn't be mad at it.
Yeah, that ends my thoughts.
Yeah, me too. Short chapter, but a better chapter than last week. Last time we talked about it, to be honest. Excited about it. Nothing much else to say. Ready to move on?
Yes.
All right. Let us go. Jujutsu Kaisen. This is Jujutsu Kaisen chapter 209. Oh, Josh, did you want to cover this one or do you want me to take it?
Yes, as long as you help me with names.
I will try.
Thank you.
All right, go for it.
Jujutsu Kaisen chapter 209. Offering to the unknown. Oh, I know. It's not unknown to me.
It's not?
No. It's offerings to the big cursed monster that he wants to create.
Yeah.
I know these things. I know these. All he wants to do is the only thing he cares about in this life. Well, anyway, last week all of our hearts were broken except for the psychopaths that read this series and that don't care about Yuki, as we watched her get ripped in half in order to save Choso from dying like a real ass bitch. I like that.
Yeah.
And if y'all are real, you like that too. So facts. So yeah, your boy Kenjaku won. He cheated. He used unscrupulous methods, and he betted on their softness, and that's fucked up because we're all soft, and that should be embraced. We're all soft on the inside, and needs to be embraced. But not Kenjaku. He manipulates that shit like the fucking cursed energy things he summons. He does that later in the chapter. It's really gross. Can't wait to get to that.
Yeah.
So anyway, here we are. I don't know if I missed anything important from the recap, but yeah, your boy won and found Tenjin in a tree womb. It was something. Okay, now back to chapter 209. So the American soldiers pulled up to the colony. They all get a Kogane, and then we get an explanation because this is Jiji Akutame. Saying that you can't teleport into the colony outside the Culling Game's ordinary procedures unless you answer the Kogane's call. All right. On a scale of 1 to 10 of useful information, we'll see. I'm going to predict it's in the 3 to 4 range. But anyway.
I would give it a little higher, 5 to 6.
Well, what do they need Koganes for?
To get them in the game. To get them in the barriers, basically.
Anyway, we got to Kenjaku, who I guess they just pulled up to like some sort of temple. This is the temple where
this is the temple where Maki killed her dad.
Oh, they went back there.
You see, the body that they're eating up. That's his corpse.
Oh, wow. Okay, I did not know that.
Mhm.
Well, that's skipping ahead a little bit.
Yeah,
but yeah.
just
So
want to explain.
they're in that temple, and they're just one of the girls. I forget her name. It's one of the twins that he saved.
I don't remember her
from
name
back
either
in the
yet.
day. Yeah, it says that here we could make a bath that will satisfy Lord Sukuna. And I don't know. I mean, obviously the cursed sorcerers that are reacting didn't react to that weird ass statement. But in my mind, before I turned the page, that's exactly what happened. But no, shit actually escalates. I see a stun grenade, like right out of Call of Duty, and the Scorpion girl, whose name I also don't remember, Christian.
I think her name
Brian.
is.
Anybody? Oh,
I
SOS.
think her name is Remy.
She does have hair like a helicopter. It's pretty cool.
No, she has a scorpion.
Oh no, it's just a Scorpion. The
She's
other
a
guy's a
Scorpion,
helicopter.
Yeah, he's dead.
Oh, get the drop ready. Get the drop ready. Get the drop
What
ready.
drop?
Not yet though.
What ready?
So,
Which drop?
Yeah, get ready. All right, so yeah, boom. Flashbang comes in. The girl has no idea. I don't even think she's ever seen one. She ain't play Call of Duty.
No.
Bow. Goes off. She's not ready. The soldiers shoot a, I don't know, a stun gun on her. Yeah, they tase her, and they're like tasers with needles in them. That's sinister, man.
Yeah.
They shock her and then they inject her with something. And she's like, "Oh, they aren't sorcerers." Nope, that's the U.S. military. That is what our tax dollars are paying for to hunt you down, shorty. One of the generals or whatever, one of the lead guys says, "Good work, silver medalist." I guess we established that there's some type of rank. So, they're talking about, oh, man, they talking a big game about these sorcerers. They call them psychics, actually. They're like, man, we ran up on them and smoked them, packed them out.
Mm-hmm.
It was easy. Like, come on. And then someone pulls up is like, bro, like, it's not even like that. Like, you fronting right now. So they call him, bronze medalist. And he says, nah, I'm a gold medalist for women. Oh, I guess there's a difference in gender.
Yeah, that's a woman.
Yeah. But why for woman? Why not just a gold medalist in general?
I don't know. It's a weird line. He makes the Americans say weird shit.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. It's not like I just don't know whatever. Let's move on. So, instead of like, oh, you killed the target, you're supposed to catch it on. And it talks about the brain being unharmed. I guess for research and test later. That wasn't revealed. That's just what I'm gonna assume. Says who cares? What's something about the taser not sticking? I don't know if that's the girl they just ran up on that they got in a body bag.
No, that's the helicopter guy.
Ah, right, because they say that. So he says, so he talked about how like the 50 caliber wouldn't pierce the skin, and the dude's not believing. I was like, yo, is that Superman? Get the fuck out of here! Like, stop it. And she's like, bro, his head was a helicopter. Yeah.
That just feels like it encapsulates the moment because he's like,
dead ass.
What?
Yeah, he's like, with the propellers and yeah, it was buck wild. Had to put him out.
Yeah.
So you don't gotta believe me, but my niggas got fucked up in the back. So while y'all over here talking this shit, literally snatching up civilians, we out here in the field. And then speaking of being out in the field, we cut to the sorcerer that was shown when they revealed the comedy guy.
Explodey teeth guy.
Yeah. He was actually pretty lethal.
Mm-hmm.
I guess he didn't die.
Nope.
I thought the comedy guy killed him.
I think he ran away. I think he allowed him to leave.
Yeah.
I gotta read that fight again. That shit was so funny.
Yeah, that was a good fight. So anyway, the explosion sorcerer ponders like, why is the military here? So I guess he remembers when the receipt man
Reggie.
He was pretty lit too.
Yeah.
I remember I thought he was corny as hell at first. But yeah, when the receipt man was talking about you could be certain that Kenjaku will drop a bomb when only the strong remain, and in the Cullen game will have served its purpose. He knew.
You do.
He really, yeah, he really did see ahead in that situation.
I know the shiesty man I'm dealing with.
Yeah, I thought he was just talking shit, but he
Yeah.
was an ancient sorcerer,
Mhm.
so that makes sense. He knows what he's dealing with. Anyway, so we cut back to Kenjaku and his twin lady underlings, and they're like, so like the point of sending these soldiers in is to heighten the cursed energy to help merge with Tenjin, right? That's the plan. And he's like, yeah, that's 60% of it. 10% less than the 70% that we mentioned earlier in One Piece that I would have been satisfied with in the Kuma situation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like percentages. Someone write that down. Anyway,
I like percentages.
so he's talking about how like a couple of the colonies like ain't really cutting it as far as the cursed energy goes. So this is like insurance. Like I'm gonna inject the sorcerers into the armed forces into these areas where the juice is low, and we're gonna have them all die, and they're gonna release cursed energy. Right. And this is when he summons the like this weird ass cursed spirit to consume the corpse that's been there for what, months?
Mm-hmm.
Months in our time.
Yeah.
I don't know how long in Jujutsu time.
Yeah.
Months in our time.
This thing's gross. I fucking hate it.
Yeah, it's just Gigi. He always goes the gross route. Like remember Pan's Labyrinth?
Mm-hmm.
Remember the toad?
Yeah.
Bro, that shit was disgusting. I was scared of that shit when I was little watching that. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, what the thing is about this thing is that I can almost feel how gross the flesh is on it.
Yeah.
It's like,
and then the hair.
It's like, this shit is just wet for no reason. It's it's damp for nothing.
It's so damp. It's smelly.
Yeah. It's like a little swamp creature.
Swamping ass.
I don't like it.
No. And then he starts eating this weak old corpse. What's wrong with you, Gigi? I actually remember watching a YouTube video about how apparently body defecation, like in media, like through like movies and art and stuff, is like actually therapeutic. I don't remember exactly why that was the case, but there's something about it that like it doesn't soothe you, but man, listen, I said what I said. Maybe we could all do some research on it another day. Drop it in the comments if you know what I'm talking about, guys.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm gonna write this down so I can bring it up later, actually.
But this is not the thing I was talking about. I was talking about the thing in the next page, but I guess I was a little ahead of myself.
Oh! Oh man, yeah, you are ahead of yourself. Yeah. So anyway,
I mean, this isn't very aesthetically pleasing either, but
no, you're right. It does. They do take it up a notch. So he says, I didn't intend to pit sorcerers against soldiers, but even without such a contest, it's a natural law that non-sorcerers can't win.
I know you love that, by the way. People with powers are not supposed to win.
There's no way. They have no chance. That's just how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
They don't have the magic. They don't have the cursed energy. They didn't put in the work or the training arc. They didn't have a training arc.
They didn't.
They went to They was Marines.
Well, that was their training arc.
Boo. Anyway. Yeah, so we cut to this soldier looking at. Well, I don't know what to say. I'm looking at.
This is the thing I was talking about. This is like, I can feel like the clammy skin. It's like wet for no reason.
He is exceptionally moist. Like this. He came. He makes everything damp around him too.
Yeah.
Like if you go next to him, like your skin will start to purse. Like collect water. What do you call that?
Yeah.
Like condensation.
Yeah. It's tragically damp. I hate it.
Tragically, yes. Yo. So And yeah, he says what the fuck, which I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah.
Because he pointed his gun. We didn't get to see what happened, but we
know.
we all know what happened. He got consumed.
Yeah, or
Got
at least
named.
murdered.
He's like, Kenjaku's like, listen, I released mad curse spirits out there, and it's nighttime. The soldiers have no idea what's hitting them. We about to get this curse energy up to the fucking moon. So then we cut. It's been a while since we've seen him actually, but we cut back to was it the angel?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we could just call
Yeah,
it
the angel. Yeah, the angel girl. Back with Itadori and oh, I'm sorry, my app crashed for a second. Okay, back with Itadori and Megumi and the comedy guy, all our friends. So she's talking about how she suspects that that he's gonna have a bunch of cursed spirits out there slaughtering the sorcerers, and for the same reason, and she's just putting them onto the game like he needs to get the curse energy up. So basically, we had to. Well, they don't say what they're about to do, but I'm assuming they're about to go out there and try to play defense. But anyway, they're heading down the stairs to leave the building, and the American soldiers pull up with a flashbang. But because Itadori's just that sharp, he kicks the flashbang back, and he didn't kick it back to the soldiers, but whatever, it was still cool. And we're in a sticky situation. The comedy guy starts dancing to dodge the bullets.
Oh yeah, he does the
yeah. ha. Yeah, that was
hey
funny.
hey.
Yeah, and the chapter actually, in my opinion, ends really abruptly with Megumi saying, if they're not gonna let us know what's going on, I'll just talk to them via violence.
Yeah.
Guys, what are your thoughts?
This was my second place, to be honest. I thought this was what I've been waiting for a little bit, going back to the culling game and seeing how Kenjaku shaking up the game affects everyone. Yeah, this was really cool to see. We got to see a little bit of what the other sorcerers are going through right now. We got a little peek of at Higuruma, and he's about to rain judgment down on these soldiers. It's gonna be
no chance
at all. He's gonna
zero opportunity.
He's gonna smash them with his hammer. It's gonna be cool. But yeah, this was just like a cool chapter. Just the effects of what's going on and what Kenjaku has set into motion. It was a cool cliffhanger because now we're back to our main protagonist for the most part, and maybe we'll see how Angel deals with it, and this is an opportunity for the Angels to show off their powers, and lots of stuff to be excited for here. Denji,
you know what I'm not excited about?
What?
That tragically damp monster.
Oh no, I mean
that shit was hilarious.
Not great. One thing that came to mind when I was reading it, I'm in the middle of rereading Jujutsu Kaisen. I'm just wrapping up the arc where Junpei dies in the very beginning, right before the event, the school event where Toto fights Itadori and all that stuff. I was like, damn, I forgot how just naturally gully Itadori is. He's just ready at any point in time. And even in the beginning of the chapters, he's just doing shit that is just above human in a weird way.
Who's Junpei? Is that the kid that got turned into a cursed spirit at the end?
Yeah.
He just touched him real quick and turned him.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Yep. But yeah, I really enjoyed reading this chapter a lot. Despite the fact that there is a saddeningly saturated monster in loose. I looked up synonyms for wet.
The saddeningly saturated monster. Yeah, so the way it's just walking, it's the face.
Yeah, the face
It's
too.
like it's not quite happy. You know, it's not sad though. It's like
It's
excited
smiling.
but reserved. Like, oh,
Uh,
it reminds me of the Titan.
yeah, it's happy for all the wrong reasons.
Yes.
I don't like it at all. I think,
There's nothing.
I think it has more than one face too. If you zoom in on it,
Yeah, it has like 3 heads.
I don't like it. It has 6 arms.
Luigi, what is wrong with you, man?
Yeah, not cool.
What if he sees this shit?
Oh, I just noticed that they let a fuck slip by in this chapter.
Yeah.
The soldier says, "What the fuck?"
Is that not a thing?
No, this has never happened in the English translation of anything.
No way.
Viz, you can't say fuck. I
That's
just peeped
crazy.
that. I can't believe I didn't see that the first time. He says, "What the fuck?" Well, it's a new era for manga. We're just letting it loose. I'm here for it. But those are all my thoughts.
This is iconic.
It is iconic. Brian, are you back? And what did you think about this chapter? Oh, he is not back, I think. Anyway. Well,
Anyway.
I don't have anything else to say. Brian may have to lose his chance to give his thoughts. I'm not exactly sure.
Was this the audience voted?
No, this was not the audience voted really good chapter of the week. Unfortunately, should have been probably. But it did get some votes. I do recall that. But yeah, I don't have any more thoughts, and I don't know. I don't feel like Brian can give his thoughts when he gets back, I guess. So anyway, let's move onward then in that regard. Unless Brian's back and he has one last chance. All right, here we go.
If you look at this cursed spirit in the face long enough, I feel like you'll become it. But not literally, metaphorically speaking.
Maybe. I mean, I would hate for that to happen. But anyway.
It's like that famous quote, you know, when you stare into the abyss, that it stares back into you, or not to let it stare back into you. And you gaze into the abyss. There's a quote. It's a famous quote, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's go. Chainsaw Man. This is Chainsaw Man chapter 116, Taste of Starfish. Yeah, last we left off, everything is looking pretty hopeless in the Eternity Aquarium. They're running out of food, and the fish are starting to rot here and there. Asa has refused to eat fish in general, so and on top of that, she fucked up probably their only chance to get out in breaking her cell phone. So, and they gave her a pretty bad chewing out about it, and she was pretty bummed out. And she had a moment where she was sitting and just kind of like being bummed out, and she got to I guess like have a little moment with Denji as Denji came in and kind of accepted what her deal was. You know, she didn't eat fish, so he was like, "Hey, you want to try a starfish?" And that's where the chapter ended. And now we pick up where we left off. At that point, we see Bro Benny is over there just like licking the glass because I guess he's hungry. And we see that Asa is talking about like how these starfish is not like that type of starfish is not edible. This is not edible, but that one's edible. You can technically eat starfish, but why are we really about to do that shit? And he's like, well, you can't eat fish, right? Starfish is the only choice. And I'm like, that's still fish. Still a fish.
Yeah, I count starfish as fish.
Am I wrong? Are we?
Are they not fish? Are
Are-
starfish fish?
If you guys know something we don't,
Crabs aren't fish. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like, just because it's in the water doesn't mean it's a fish automatically, right?
right?
It could be something like an invertebrate. I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm
if
not a
it's
marine biologist.
I think an invertebrate is like,
Help.
yeah, help us. If you know what the fuck they're talking about, starfish is a fish, right?
I'm pretty sure it's a fish.
We're not stupid, right?
Octopus is a fish, right?
Is it? I don't know what's a fish anymore.
What the fuck is a fish, man? No, eels are fish.
Eels.
Jellyfish. Fish. Nigga, there's some fish in the name.
That's what I'm
Starfish.
saying.
It's gotta be a fish.
Listen,
It's gotta be a fish.
we're not crazy.
It's gotta.
We're not
I'm not
crazy.
crazy.
We're not crazy.
Why not?
We're
Brian?
not. Right?
Brian?
We're not crazy.
Listen. Anyway.
Yeah, anyway. So they basically like find a random pot with a lid and they just start to boil these starfish. And you know, they have a moment where they're talking about Asa notices that there's so many school hats in the room and is like, why are there so many school hats here? It's like, I collected them so that I can sell them when we get back. And she's like, why are you so obsessed with making money? And
What? Bitch, I'm poor. What you mean?
yeah, basically, and Denji explains that he has a friend, a little sister that's living with him, and she's smart enough to go to college, so he's been saving up for her tuition. This is the first time we've mentioned the reincarnation of Makima that Denji has been looking after. I forget her name right now, but this is the first time that she's ever been mentioned, and it's weirdly sweet.
Yes, it's very nice.
Denji's like, see, my life was always crappy before. I want her to have a normal life. And Asa can't believe it. She's like, what the fuck?
Right.
Yeah. And she's like, I think it's ready. And they start eating it. They start eating the starfish. And it's apparently gross. It tastes like sea urchin. It tastes like a gross sea urchin. I've never tried sea urchin.
Urchin gross?
I've never tried sea urchin. Are sea
Me
urchin
neither.
fish?
I see her. That's what I'm saying.
I don't think sea urchin are
Urchin?
fish.
Had sea in the name, but there's a lot of things in the sea.
Yeah, there's so many things in the sea.
Whales are in the sea. They're mammals.
Yeah. Help us out here, guys.
Pirates are in the sea.
They're not fish, unless they're Jinbei, but then they're only half fish.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. But they're not edible. Well, ethically.
No, definitely not ethically. Yeah. I need to go back to school, man.
Papao is edible.
What is?
No, he's a fishman. He's a fishman. I said papao.
Oh, Papagu.
Papag. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a One Piece guy.
he'd probably be
Anyway.
edible. Anyway. So,
Pizza man.
you know, they're eating and they're like, it's not enough. Where are those fish? And Denji's like, I dried those fish. And Asa asks, can I have one? And he's like, I thought you couldn't eat fish. I mean, you can, but you were talking all that shit earlier. And, you know, Asa starts eating it and she thinks it's gross. And honestly, I relate. I'm not a fish fan myself.
It's awesome. What you mean, man?
I know.
You need some fried whiting. That's that shit.
Fried what? No.
Fried whiting. With like some grits or like some French fries or some rice and peas. I don't want that now.
Anyway, so they're eating, and she's grimacing at every bite. Relatable, and Denji's like, haha, you're fun, and Asa's like, fun? He's like, well, what you say is totally boring, but you're interesting to watch. And and Asa's like, yeah, that's right. I'm an interesting woman. And he's like, yeah, I'm fun, right? Yeah. And she starts going crazy. She's like, I'm glad you noticed you have a good eye. I'm charming, aren't I? He's like, I'm charming. And Denji's face right now, bro, is like, what the fuck?
Shorty, did the starfish do this? I'm
Yeah.
a devil, so I don't know. It doesn't. Maybe it doesn't affect me.
Yeah. And Denji's like, I like that attitude. It reminds me of an old friend. And right there in my feels. Power.
Who's his old friend? Power? Oh.
Yeah, Fujimoto.
Well, that's cool. Yeah.
Fujimoto decided to do a nut check to my feels. And
Yeah.
now I'm just like, no, Power.
Damn.
I miss Power.
Miss Power too. I miss her too.
So yeah, Asa peeps the hats, and then she looks down at the fish. She takes a bite out of the fish. She eats the fish whole, and she's like, Denji, I think I may have a way out of here. Help me. And she's like, oh, cool. What's the plan? And she says that they're going to collect money. And Denji doesn't even question. The next panel is them literally running out of the room, and they're like, there's 1,000 yen.
Doesn't even question.
No, he said,
you're right.
He said, say less. And they're running, and he's like, there's 1,000 yen backpack on the ground. There's also this wallet, and with 14,000 yen inside. And Asa's like, let's steal that too. And yeah, they're just having the time of their life, laughing and all that stuff. And they collected over 1 million yen, and they're like, what are they?
Which is how much US dollars?
I don't know.
Not 1 million, right?
No. I think
they
it's
didn't just
less.
become millionaires, right? Like,
Brian, are you back? Damn it. He is not back. I will look up how much 1 million yen is in American dollars. 1
like 1,000?
Yeah, maybe. It could be, yeah.
Maybe like $100,000?
It is
That's
$7,000. $7,500. Well, nearly $8,000.
Okay.
Not bad. Not bad. I'll take it.
She said, once we're out of here, I'll grant you any request.
And he's like,
yo, she has no idea what she just told this nigga.
Yeah, she said, he's like, to get with the money, what do we do with it? And she's like, give it all to me. And he's like, fuck you talking about? He's like, once we're out of here, I'll grant you any request. He's like, here, he said, help yourself. And she's basically like, while I'm at it, just for now, do exactly as I say. He's like, yes, ma'am. He's like, go over there, close your eyes, and cover your ears. And he does it. He stands at the wall too, just like he's on timeout. And then Asa turns.
Boy.
And this shit is crazy. Asa's like thinking to herself. She turns around. She's like, have some confidence. It doesn't matter how crazy the logic is. It's a matter of my own perception. And she says that I pay the 1 million yen in this bag to buy this aquarium. And then she touches the glass. And then she says, aquarium spear. And that's where the chapter ends. Josh, what did you think about Chainsaw Man chapter 116?
Let's get it out the way. This was my RGC.
Oh.
I
Certified
fucking
RGC,
love this chapter.
Certified RGC. Certified RGC.
Brian's back.
Happy.
But go on with your thoughts.
Yo. This guy is so good at at writing and storytelling. But I'm gonna get into more details. Just let me slide back to the beginning. The number one thing that stood out to me is how organic their relationship developed. In these past few chapters. There was no reason for them to care about each other or like each other. You know what I'm saying? Especially since Asa was just using, Denji to get to a means to an end, and Denji's just, he don't really care. He's just trying to get some ass, So if we're being completely honest, that's why he went to the aquarium. So it's just, I think what I'm trying to say is, like, in a lot of manga, you know, you don't get to see, you know, these like little things in a relationship flesh out, or like interactions between people to see like how they find a connection. And we see through this chapter like Denji thought out of the box to try to offer her something to eat. You know what I mean? Like he was creative in that regard, just because that's how he is. That's just who he is as a person. It's not like he was doing that to try to woo her or something like that. You know what I mean? It was just he just did it. And you know, as I said, fuck it. I'm not gonna eat the fish. I'll try the starfish. It is what it is. You know, to be determined on whether that's redundant or not. Then you know the way they had you know, she was just curious about Denji, you know, asking about like, you know, why are you so obsessed with money, with him kind of opening up about himself and her learning something, being surprised, because you know you would be surprised. You don't know people's lives, you don't know the shit they go through, and you know if you're curious enough, you ask and you'll find out something interesting. Anyway, it was just kind of cool to see him like open up like that, and also like you've mentioned before, like give uh like you know mention the girl that he's like taking care of, the little girl, the reincarnation of Makima, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that was really nice, but it was just cool to know that, oh, it's not that he's just, you know, trying to get as much money as possible through any means. He really does have a goal and a focus, and that was cool to learn about Denji too. So it's like I felt like along with Asa, he was opening up to us too as readers. I felt that kind of vibe, you know. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, Asa had a moment, you know, where she tried something brand new, you know, with Denji. That's she may not trust him or something like that, but that's, you know, that's sharing an experience. You know what I mean? That's development right there. And I'm not gonna lie, this was like this line. I don't know, for some reason this line really got to me. But when Denji was said that, oh, like, oh, you're fun, and she was like, you know, like, oh, I'm fun. And he was like, you know, you're kind of, you know, what you say is boring. Like, you know, you're not like a comedian and not like that, but you're interesting to watch. And I don't know, like something about that kind of just made me feel like, yo, you know, not some people. It's not just about being funny, you know what I'm saying? But like when you're interested in someone, it's little things like that. Like you don't have to. It just makes me think about like with relationships. Like you don't have to always go out of your way to be a certain way. If you just can naturally find things about a person that you know are interesting or make you laugh or are engaging, or just make you more curious, et cetera, et cetera. That's usually how you form like a nice bond and a genuine friendship with somebody. You know, even outside of like romantic relationships, it's just very natural. The way it was fleshed out in this chapter. And then even how she starts boasting about like, oh, because she was insecure. Like that's why it was funny, because she was really insecure about being like lame or like, you know, being like boring, or yeah, like a bore, like how the War Devil mentioned. Um but yeah, it's just cool how she reacted because of that insecurity, and you know how Denji reacted it and how they started having fun. It's really believable how, through the course of just from the negative shit that happened prior to the positive stuff that happened in this chapter, it really sells the fact that that Asa's going to try to turn the entire aquarium into a weapon, because she does have affection for it and does own it. I thought it was masterfully done. This is I ain't gonna lie, man. We gotta talk about it. We gotta talk about Chainsaw Man being up there. Like when we talk about Bakuban,
yeah.
and when we talk about like
Oh, yeah.
World Trigger and One Piece and Jujutsu Kaisen, it's kind of holding its weight, and it's
Mhm.
done it countless times in its
Mhm.
own unique way. I'm privileged to read this shit, man.
Yeah.
I really am. I really am. I wonder if I wonder how you guys feel about that, and not just you too, but you know everyone listening.
Mhm.
You know, if you guys are enjoying this with me, please let me know. Share your experiences. Anyways, yeah, those are
Yeah.
my thoughts.
Brian, what did you think about Chainsaw Man chapter 116?
Denji the Rizzler.
The Riz God.
The Rizgar.
Riz God up in the aquarium.
He's been this was a really interesting chapter, mainly because are we talking about the new chapter or the chapter before?
116. This is the new chapter.
So it's really interesting because they've kind of been painting Denji Denji's become the wise character of the series somehow. You wouldn't have painted him that way, but he, like, the way he leads this chapter is through experience and fucking and just being himself in a situation he's already been in. Like, this entire time he's been the most composed person and like the one person kind of holding it down mentally, which is something you don't expect Denji to be responsible for. He wasn't that guy when they were trapped in the hotel. Like, his whole thing was he doesn't give a fuck. He gets to sleep, right?
Mhm.
Now it's a different story. Now he's kind of like, he has things to kind of live for now. And through that thing to live for, he found kind of a little bit more empathy than, he didn't initially show. And something that he was really scared of losing before too. So, I really like this chapter. Fucking, and Denji bringing up power too, as well. That warmed my fucking heart. Seeing him go, I like your attitude. You remind me of a friend.
Yeah.
It was so sad.
Yeah, I told you, I don't know if you heard me, Brian, but when that happened, I was like, man, what a punch to the fucking feels.
I didn't catch that, yo.
Yeah. Because she was going crazy like power.
And the thing is, it's something you think about before he even says it too. Because as she said it, you think power.
Mm-hmm.
You literally think power when she says stuff like that. And Denji kind of just speaks what the audience thought. So I'm honestly super impressed, and I love the way that he writes Denji now. Where even the calm, cool, collected fucking squid guy is kind of crumbling. So now it's just between
in the most subtle way.
Yeah.
This is a really heartwarming chapter with a lot of subtle sad moments in it too. It's just like Josh said, this guy's writing when it comes to interpersonal relationships and fucking really subtle character development, with also on top of that his traditional writing style, which seems like it doesn't have much depth. The way that these characters express themselves, they're so like full of life and have so many weird quirks about them. You would think that it's not that deep, but the way that they act and carry out themselves, it is a lot deeper than people would give it credit for. And it's really difficult to kind of do that while maintaining the same style of writing, Some people try to force it for, like, if this were My Hero Academia, they would be like talking about their feelings right now. They would be talking about they would be forcing the conversation to be something that it didn't have to be. And this guy just nails it when it comes to this stuff. He shows you development as naturally and through the course of it,
Yeah.
Yes. If I may, Brian, I will agree with you 100%. And he's, like you said, he meticulously shows it. Dude, she spent a whole chapter, you know what I mean? And actually he shows it doesn't have to be, you don't have to dedicate an entire arc, to something, you know what I mean? You just have to take your time and really care enough. And not everyone has to be exactly this way. I don't want everyone to be the same. It's just, I wish a little bit more care was put into, the situations in My Hero Academia. You're right. They wouldn't have. What would have happened in My Hero Academia is we would have heard about I'm not even gonna go there.
You
I
would have
can't.
heard about the conversation between Denji and
I was gonna say like we just. I don't know. I don't think. I think that, like you said, they would have talked, and then maybe something would have happened that forced the two people to have to work together or get past the differences. I don't know. Whatever. I don't even want to take this time to try to take away from another series, like I always do with My Hero Academia. But there is the different. There is that. You're right. Like in this series, they really take their time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I agree with everything you guys said. I think obviously Fujimoto is shaping himself to be a pretty good candidate for next gen GOAT, to be honest. But yeah, it is. I think like the way he paces out stuff is something I don't really see a whole lot in comics in general. I mean, I've said this before. It's cinematic. I feel like he's a really big movie fan, so I feel like he takes a lot of inspiration from movies and how he paces his comics, which is really hard to do as a comic book artist. So that it's in a really really subtle way he's kind of innovating like the medium of sequential art and what you can do with it. And that's all I'll say about that. I think there's something interesting in what you said about how Denji is like the calm, cool, collected one, the mature one in this, and I think that's true. But Denji's never been really dumb. He's always just lacked things, like he's never been to school. But one thing he's always had is like this gift of perspective, like he's just able to bring out just like people's inhibitions and just let them be free for a minute. And all by just like kind of bringing them like down to his level, for lack of a better word. This ever since Chainsaw Man came back, I feel like they've, in a good way, have been like revisiting these old plot points from the previous half of the story. In the beginning, we see Denji save a cat, like in the first, like real big arc with the man bat, the devil bat, arc. He saves a cat in that one from the bat devil, no less. And in this one, I feel like it's mirroring that moment with Aki, where they're just like kicking that guy. I don't remember the exact context, Brian, and maybe you do better than I do because like you're fresher from the anime. I haven't rewatched the anime.
Why he fought the Bat Devil?
I'm talking about that time with him and Aki where like kicking the shit out of that guy. I think it was the Katana Devil.
The Katana Devil, yeah.
Yeah.
Katana Man.
Yeah, I feel like this is like a similar moment where he's he allows people to kind of like act on their more baser instincts and just like not be constrained by how they're supposed to be or whatever, like because now they're just stealing money at this point with Asa, who was very much an introvert, and he's like kind of basically just let her like have a moment where she could be a bad bitch from Tokyo.
Bad bitch from Tokyo.
And
Yeah.
it's just like history's repeating itself in a really interesting way between these two characters, where he sees little like fragments in both Aki and Power within her. And I think if I'm reading that right, I think that's really interesting. She has like Aki's reservedness and his creature of habit, persona and all that stuff. And on top of that, she has like an inner power that comes out when you give her like the lane for it. And I think that's a very interesting thing. I'm excited to see what their dynamic is going forward, seeing as how there is the tension of Yoru trying to kill the Chainsaw Devil. So yeah, I'm hoping it doesn't end tragically for either of them. But
oh man.
But yeah, I'm really excited to see what the fuck this aquarium spear is. Is she gonna turn the whole fucking building into a spear?
That would be so lit. There's nothing. I don't want it to be any different than how you just explained it.
Yeah, I don't know how even that would look like. But I'm excited to find out. But those are all my thoughts. I don't. I think I've exhausted my thoughts on that one. I don't know if you guys have any rebuttals or anything that you wanted to get to. But the floor is open.
The floor is open for Brian.
Brian, you have any thoughts? Any rebuttals or anything?
There's a chance that Asa's plan doesn't work.
Could be.
Just gotta throw that out there.
Oh yeah.
There is yes, that is a chance.
Yeah. I mean, they've only built her to be kind of a fuck up to this point. So
Or at least
Mhm.
it doesn't happen the way she intended it to, essentially.
yeah,
That's probably exactly what's gonna happen.
yeah. I'm
Although I'm rooting for it to just happen immediately. And
yeah. I just want to see what an aquarium spear looks like. I just want it to turn out good for that regard. I just want to see a cool giant spear. But yeah, I'm all set. Do you guys have anything else before last words?
No.
No, sir.
Oh, I did want to say that I do want to change what I thought. I feel like, yeah, Chainsaw Man was my second place. I said Jujutsu Kaisen was, but it was not.
Not Jujutsu's your third.
Jujutsu Kaisen is my very close third, though. Speaking of which, Brian, what did you think about Jujutsu Kaisen? We didn't get your thoughts.
Honestly, I didn't think much of it.
What?
I love the chapter, but
The American soldiers?
The
the American soldiers don't interest me at all.
America!
They're kind of just fodder. They're gonna get fucking smoked by everybody.
Freedom
every
is
competent-
the only way now.
America.
No, I think they're setting up that one soldier to become a cursed
The lady?
technique user. Yeah, the
That'd be
lady.
cool.
The gold medalist?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Female?
she looks too like unique.
They did
If that
go
makes
out
any
of their way to
sense.
design her a certain way so that, like, a notable design.
She'll probably stick around.
If this was Hunter x Hunter, you'd be 100% correct and 100% wrong at the same time.
100% Karong.
Yeah, that's what I said.
100% correct. Well,
100% Karong.
That's when you merge them together. Your 100 readers are
Karong.
Karong at all times.
I feel like we're
100%
Karong on this
Karong.
show all the time,
Yeah.
to be honest. All right, well, there you go. Let's move onward then. Black Clover. This is Black Clover chapter 347, Truth in a Lie.
Alternate title, Get Washed.
Yeah,
Part 7.
7. What was the first?
It was 6. There was 6 other ones in this series. There had to be at least 6 others.
Yeah, I'll give you that. So last we left off, the Ryuzen 7 were gonna pop off against the 5-headed dragon, and they did some cool stuff. They used their super cool ultimate techniques to destroy the 5-headed dragon, and Ichika is remembering the fact that she's used up a lot of Yoryoku in her fight against Asta, and I guess immediately had to go fight this giant fucking dragon.
The chakra is almost depleted.
Yeah, it's not great. And that's when the sister paladin pulls up and is like, my, I wonder if you'll be able to stop this one. And there's this there's a big ice and spatial magic attack that pulls up between the ice guy and the sister, and basically one shots the entire Ryuzen 7 in embarrassing fashion.
Well, 5 of them at least.
Yeah, 5 of them. Well, 3 of them are down. It looks like Ichika.
They look dead. The one in the middle looks mad dead.
Yeah, she is passed away potentially. Until I know that they're dead, I can't give them the sound. But yeah, it's not looking good for them. Ice Paladin guy is like, an inescapable attack from all sides. That's the most efficient method. I don't even give a shit. And Ichika is just like in awe. The crazy lady what's her face is Kezokaku is like, now you are worth slashing. She goes over to the beast magic user, and the beast magic user summons this monster known as the Boogeyman, and it traps Kezokaku into its opponent's memories of terror and gives them a physical form, just like this. And the frog turns into Ichika's dad. And she's like, man, I don't give a shit about this illusion. And then all of a sudden she starts having flashbacks about her dad just being a fucking piece of shit. We see that she gives her this like pill after fucking Yami's like rejecting her or something. It's called the Demon Soul pill, and makes her eat it. And we see that now all of the entirety of Ichika's clan is dead, but it turns out it's not Yami who did it, but it was actually Ichika who killed the entire Yami clan.
With her massive Yoryuku.
Yeah, with her spiked Yoryoku. And the dad, after watching his entire family be slaughtered, be like, haha, that was awesome. Look at you. You got
What I tell you. What I say.
Yo.
Oh, pretty sick.
Oh.
Shit up.
Yo, you just killed my cousin
man.
and your cousin. That shit's crazy. He
Oh,
says, you're my...
man.
He said,
I'm your dad. You came out of my ball sack. Woo.
Woo.
Up top. And,
good job,
no.
champ. And Ichika...
Yeah, fuck your brother.
Yeah, Ichika is now reeling from the fact that she killed her entire family. And she's like, no, this entire time I hated Yami for that exact same reason, but it was me this whole time.
No.
Nope. You did it.
That was not me.
Fuck. And then...
Someone's gate is open.
What?
Someone's gate is open.
What do you mean?
Oh, I thought because I could hear myself echoing.
Oh. I don't think it's a gate issue. Any case, the other members of the Reusing 7 that just got clapped stand up and they're like, we're the guardians of this land. We can't fall yet.
They didn't die.
They did not die, indeed. And the Paladin sister is like, it's all right. Master Lucius will give you true peace and happiness later on. And then she regenerates the 5-headed dragon. And she's like, so for now, rest in peace.
Savage.
Yeah. And
I actually don't hate sister.
No.
I don't hate it.
I don't hate it. I never said I hated it.
I will continue to make fun of the trope.
I will make fun of the trope.
You know what? She's sincere. She's not being fake.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is.
Yeah. And Ichika is like, damn, don't let this unsettle you. Keep your mind focused, as the vision of her dad is about to swing his sword down on her. But then, guess who's back? Yeah. Someone blocks the sword, and it is Asta. He's back already. And he's like, what do you think you're what do you think you're doing to my benefactor? And that's where the chapter ends. Josh, what did you think about Black Clover chapter 347?
Brian, what did you think about Black Clover chapter 347?
What are you doing to my friends? What kind of wizard king would I be if I couldn't protect my benefactor?
Yeah, no. On a serious note, I swear I didn't hate this chapter. I didn't have that much of a problem with it. Although I was incredibly disappointed at how they was looking on the ice.
Yeah,
when they was out there. I was just like, even if y'all get back up, it's like, come on, y'all let it happen to y'all like this.
Come on.
Y'all was just talking shit. They was just talking shit, man. And they all, anyway, I get it. These devils are super strong, but they're also fucking hilarious. I mean, the Boogeyman frog. We just talked about Pan's Labyrinth. Like, how funny is that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I get it. he is a boogeyman. As far as she's concerned, she was ready to fight and then folded up in moments.
Yep.
You want to know what else happened in moments? Asta's upgrade and development. That motherfucker used rare candies. All right, there's no way.
He stocked up a bunch of rare candies and leveled up immediately.
Yeah, that's what they did. He seen the ice thing happen from a distance and was like, you know, come over here. We're gonna use these drugs. It's gonna unlock this power.
We're gonna get high.
Just if you rampage, just do it that way. To
that specific
to the
area.
monsters and those people, yeah, in that direction. None of the Japanese people. What were your thoughts? Yeah, he wasn't ready, right? Neither was I.
I don't know. I feel like we're being set up for yet another plot twist regarding what happened to Yami's sister. There's gonna be another plot twist where it's like, oh, you actually didn't kill your entire family. It wasn't Yami either. It was something else completely.
This devil.
And
she didn't eat a
Asta's
devil
gonna
pill.
be related to the revelation somehow. Either that or Asta is gonna be somehow make her feel okay about killing her entire family. Those are the only two options.
Well, when you put it that way,
yeah, it's all right.
It's okay because you know what? Your brother protected you. He made you this way so that you could live on and be happy.
You may have
protected you like the Wizard King protects his friends.
You may have killed your entire family, but now you have friends.
And you're super strong. And your dad, he's dead, right?
You dead.
Fuck that guy.
Well,
you're good.
Yeah. No, I didn't. I also did not hate this chapter. I just find it very funny that, look, we knew that the Ryuzen 7 wasn't going to beat them and that Asta was going to do this. I didn't know it was going to be the very next chapter. You know, I didn't know it was going to be that quick, which, you know, it's fine. I'll accept. I'm in a Zen mode with Black Clover these days.
Yeah, I'm in very it is what it is mode.
Yeah.
With Black Clover.
But, you know, for what it is, it was cool. The art is great. I love the design of the Boogeyman frog. I thought that was sick. I think the Paladins have a pretty good design. Ichika killing her family was actually not a bad plot twist, to be honest.
Not a bad plot twist.
I actually kind of liked it. So, you know,
Yami doesn't need to be more edge. Cool.
Yeah, I don't really have a problem with this chapter. I do think it's just very funny, and I will make fun of it for how quickly Asta. They didn't even give these guys a fucking shot, you know,
like we need this boy in right now.
Yeah, let's. We get the deal, you know. Like, well, let's not lollygag. We've done this already. And look, I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt and say that maybe Asta doesn't really defeat these guys. It's actually the strongest member of the Ryuzen 7 that was with him, and maybe he comes in and cleans up the mess. I'll give that benefit of the doubt as to what I think will happen next chapter. But yeah, this was a Black Clover chapter, and
very Black Clover.
If you want to know what Black Clover is, it's it's the last two chapters. It's this and the previous chapter. There's a reason that like that fight with Magna and Dante was probably my favorite fight in the entire series, is that it kind of broke this mold in a very real way. So
in a very real way.
Yeah, it genuinely gave Magna a really cool moment. And don't get me wrong, characters get really cool moments in this series, but they never get to have like the defining moment like Magna did that one time, you know? Or at least to my memory. I mean, I could be wrong about that. But yeah. I don't remember anything as triumphant happening to somebody else than that moment happened with Magna.
Because Magna is the second main character of the series.
Yeah.
Doesn't Magna also want to be Wizard King?
Yeah.
No, I don't think he does.
Well, he's next in line.
Yeah. Anyway, that's all my thoughts on Black Clover. Do you guys have any rebuttals or anything like that?
Nope.
All righty.
Did this win the audience vote?
Oh, thanks for reminding me, Josh. Yes, it did actually.
Certified RGC.
Let's go, audience. Back on it again.
It's
2
been
weeks in a row.
RG.
Oh, really?
Well, last week doesn't count, but the week before, yeah.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, it hasn't won super consistently in a long time. Like, I'll give it that. But Black Clover did win this week's poll by 50% of the vote. It was One Piece and Jujutsu Kaisen and Undead were the next runners up. Jujutsu Kaisen had 25% of the vote, so it was kind of like right behind it. So yeah, there you go. That's your favorite chapter of the week. If you guys want to take part in the poll, subscribe to our YouTube channel so you never miss when I put up the poll. It's usually about a day, like the day of or the day after the chapters drop on Viz's official website for Shonen Jump. So yeah, subscribe to us so you never miss a poll and cast your vote for your favorite chapter of the week. With that being said, that's about it for Black Clover. Yeah, we can move onward, right?
Right.
All right, let's go. Undead Unluck. This is Undead Unluck chapter 142, Face Off. Last we left off, the Union has gotten a new mission. They recently accomplished the mission of defeating Autumn, and now they're on their second quest, which is the neutralization of or the capture of the negator of the unavoidable. I mean, and basically he factors into Fuko's plan, so they need him on the Union in general. The reward for capturing him is a third seat at the table, I believe. Oh no, it's the location of Remember. So they need to capture him in order to get the Remember card that would restore the memories of all of the allies that they've made in the previous loop. And the way they did that is that they tracked down Void Volks, who is the unavoidable negator, to his to a boxing match, and Fuko challenged him to a boxing match, a title defense fight, and Void looks at her and is like, "What's your name?" And he's like, "Fuko Izumo." And he's like, "I see." And how do you spell that, with an F or an H? And he's like giving her an autograph, and gave her the robe that he wore for his last title defense, and autographed it for her. And she's like, "No, I'm here to fight you." And he's like, "Are you now?" And he's just like disregarding her in general. So basically, he's like, Nico explains that Void doesn't have unavoidable yet. Tragedies always accompany negation ability manifestations, and his manifests when he kills his promising young opponent in the match. So that's why Fuko got to basically convince the opponent to drop out, so that it would allow Void to avoid his negation event. Yeah. So yeah, she's she's not being taken seriously by him at all, and it's making Fuko cry. He's like, "You see that? The complete disregard for Fuko has her on the verge of tears." And I thought that was like a funny little moment. But yeah, basically she doesn't give up in general. And she's like, she goes up to him and he's like, "Void Volks," and he's like, "What? If you're looking to thank me, then." And then she like gives him like an intense stare, and you see this panel of him just exploding a fist onto Fuko's face. That was like unnecessarily gruesome. But it turns out it's not really him. It's just his weird bloodlust thing. And Void.
Yeah, she got punched in the face just from him changing his demeanor.
There's like a crazy detail in this punch panel. You see her eyelids.
Yeah.
Like you see the inside of her
Oh
eyelid.
my god, yeah.
I've never seen that shit. She fucking killed her with his punch.
Yeah. Caved the face. This is what happened to Kaido.
Yeah, basically. And he's like, "Are you really planning on fighting me?" And he's like, "You shouldn't though. You look like you dabble in the sport, but listen up. Boxing is the simplest and fairest form of entertainment. So you and I are from different worlds. It's not a matter of who's better than who. You should shoot to be number one in your own realm." And then fucking Fuko squares up, and she's like, She goes Ippo mode. She's like peekaboo.
She does.
Yeah, and he's like,
fighting stance.
he's like, "Weren't you listening?" And he's like, "Our worlds are the same." Fuko interrupts. He's like, "We're both on the planet Earth, and both people who inhabit it. The rules you speak of don't matter." And so, yeah, like Void just goes straight in and tries to punch her in the face, but Fuko dodges and weaves and gives him a punch in the gut. And he's like, "Whoa!" She ducked and landed a body shot, although her punches are light. And then you see that Fuko's bleeding a little bit. I don't know if she.
I guess she got grazed in the chin a little bit.
Yeah, and he sees that. He's like, "I like the cut of your jib, Fuko Izumo." And he's like, "So you'll fight me then?" And he's like, "Well, will that even work? My bigwig sponsors will be up in arms with a last minute opponent change." And then she calls on Nico to work his magic, and yeah, basically, I guess he arranges the fight. So that works out. So Void goes on to explain that he's disappointed in himself, and he got a smidgen stronger and forgot all about his past. He talks about how he used to fight all day and night, no rules attached back then. I was lucky to duke it out with all sorts of tough guys I've never seen before. So he goes off and he's like, "Take it easy, see you in the ring." And it's at that point, Fuko just starts to collapse as Nico and the rest of them approach her, and they take her away, and they're like, "What the fuck is going on here? Why would you even do that?" And it turns out that the punch was enough to rattle her brain. And Nico's like, "Then why did you?"
Damn.
He's like, "Why did you do that? Your punch didn't even phase him." He's like, "I wouldn't say," she says, "I wouldn't say that." And it looks like Void is just like on his side. And it turns out that like her weird punch attack like hits from the inside out, like hockey. And he's like, "It's been a while. This should be fun." And the day we cut over to January 1st, which I imagine is the fight day, as we see the operation capture of Negator of Unavoidable. And yeah, that's where the chapter ends. Josh, what did you think about Undead Unluck chapter 142?
This was a cool chapter. I didn't know much about Vogt going into this. Like, I mean, none of us did, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I like him. He's a cool dude. He really is a boxer, you know. I didn't. When he was first introduced, I don't remember his personality. He was just in a fucking robot suit.
Yeah.
I felt, was he even boxing?
I don't think he was boxing, but he was literally the first person to die in the series.
Right. So whatever. It's just I like what he chose to do with this character, and I like how Foucault kind of had to like really convince him to like make it happen. And I felt like they could have pulled strings to set something up where he couldn't have avoided it, but she wanted to make a point to challenge him, and that's, you know, there's a reason for that.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's cool. I like that little scene of her getting in.
Yeah.
You know, like dodging. It did remind me of Hajime no Ippo. I really do miss reading that. I really do need to get back to that at some point.
I'm also reading that from the beginning.
Oh my god.
You know what I'm doing
too, but I'm so intimidated.
You know what it is? I have this site that has like I'm not gonna tell anybody. I don't want to snitch, but
Well, you know, you can also
yeah, I'll talk to you about it later.
spread wisdom
I will.
to your friends.
Yeah. Anyway, go on, Josh.
Yeah. She could fight against that karate master. So there's no way she's gonna lose to Fang. So there's no way she's gonna lose to this guy, to Void. So stop it.
Mm-hmm.
Stop. She's gonna fuck him up something crazy.
That would be pretty good. Were those all your thoughts?
Yeah.
Yeah, I also really like this chapter. I mean, just like you said, that point where she squared up, it reminded me of that first moment with Fang where she did like that pose, and I was like,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yo, she's
Yeah.
ready to scrap.
Yeah, I haven't said it enough that I really like what they're doing with Fuko here and how just different she is. I'm really enjoying Void. The archetype of just like the crazy fighter dude. You gotta love it.
Mhm.
He looks a lot like Andy.
He does. He really does.
So
And Andy.
yeah, Tan Andy. But yeah, this was cool. I feel like the art for this chapter was really good. That punch in the face was just visceral as hell. Like I felt it.
Mhm.
I was like, did he really do that? Thank God.
Like just for her staring at him like that, like
Yeah.
oh.
No, that's
Like from going from like taking pictures and signing autographs for her to just without question,
Mm-hmm.
you know, murdering her. That was a big that's a big dramatic flip.
Yeah, I love this 2-page spread panel where she does like the dodge and the counter punch. I think it's just like so well drawn, and I think it's like one of my favorite panels of the series, to be honest. It just looks so cool. But yeah, you didn't say anything else that I didn't really want have in mind as well. I just want to like really compliment the artwork in that like there's moments in this chapter where you can see it's really come a long way. Not to say that like this series had bad artwork, but like there's certain panels in this where it's like, yeah, he put his back into this one. It looks great. But I'm excited for what comes next for Undead Unluck. If you're not reading Undead Unluck, get on it now before the anime comes out. Stay ahead of the curve, because I feel like a lot of people are really gonna like this one, and it's gonna be a lot more popular when the anime is out and more people have exposure to it. So, yep, that's all for me. Any rebuttals, anything like that?
What do you know about the Death Note special one shot that came out in 2020?
What do I know about it?
Did you know that it was 87 pages? Holy shit.
Yeah, I read it. We talked about it on the show. Are you talking about the one where Trump was like in it?
Yeah, you're right. He was.
Yeah, we definitely talked about it on the show.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. You're right.
Well, okay. All right. Well,
now I'm looking at these pages and I remember.
Yeah. I'll take that as we're good to wrap up here.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, that was Undead Unluck, and that has been our show. Thank you guys so much for listening. As per usual, you can find me at the Chris Espinal on Twitter and Instagram. Josh at JDCole_37 on Instagram, at New Jump City Josh on Twitter. Brian is at be.esp on Twitter and Instagram. Follow him on twitch.tv/It's Punchline, where he streams video games. Follow the show on our social medias at New Jump City on Twitter and Instagram, and also TikTok, because why not? Comment your favorite moments from the show, your favorite chapter of the week. Let us know what you guys think about everything. Let us get some engagement. Let us know what you guys think. Any feedback for the show would be very appreciated. You can email us at newjumpcitypod@gmail.com with any questions, suggestions, anything you guys want us to talk about. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, please. I keep almost forgetting to say that, but please subscribe to the channel, like and share things, and let people know about the show if you really enjoy it. Subscribe to us on iTunes, Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts. The audio version is usually up first, so if you guys prefer audio podcasts that you can take on the go and you don't have to have YouTube open on your phone, this would be a best way to do it. And that'll be it. Next week there's no jump, but there will be a chapter of Chainsaw Man and probably a chapter of World Trigger, God willing. So we'll cover those and do some questions next week, because why not? But until then, thank you guys so much again for listening, and stay safe, New Jump citizens.
Peace out, guys.